Why is the gate locked? Who locked the gate? We just got back from the mortuary. We must sleep with a man before midnight. Look! There is total lockdown and everyone must stay indoor. Lockdown? Then how do we survive this? It's 11:59. We have just 1 minute left. Once it's 12 midnight, we are finished. Once it's 12 midnight, we are finished.
In a busy Nigerian city that never slept, 3 close friends lived together. Their names were Bella, Cynthia, and Nora. They were young, beautiful, and full of confidence. They loved a soft life and enjoyed the good things money could buy. The girls made their money by dating rich men. These men liked their beauty and spoiled them with gifts. Phones were bought for them without asking. Their house rent was paid on time. They stayed in expensive hotels and ate at classy restaurants. With this money, the girls lived big. They dressed in designer clothes and always looked fresh. Every day, they took beautiful pictures and posted them online. On social media, they looked happy, rich, and successful. Anywhere they went, people noticed them. They walked with pride, smiling like life had already been won. But one problem still remained. No matter how much money they made, it never felt enough. Each time they achieved something new, someone else seemed to be doing better. Every day, they spent long hours on social media. They watched other young ladies drive the latest cars, live in big mansions, and spend money without care. Those ladies looked richer, happier, more powerful. Slowly, the girls began to compare their own lives. Suddenly, their luxury no longer felt special. Their expensive clothes felt ordinary. Their soft life started to look small. Questions filled their minds. They wondered why others were ahead of them. They wondered if they were missing something important. The thought refused to leave them. After days of talking and thinking, a dangerous idea entered their conversations. Nora finally mentioned a man outside town. People whispered about him. They said he helped people get quick wealth. They said those who followed his ways never stayed poor. Fear entered the room. For a moment, the girls were silent. Their hearts beat fast. They knew such paths were risky. But the hunger for more money was louder than their fear. And slowly, they began to listen. So one night, the girls made their decision. They left the city quietly and traveled to meet the herbalist. The place was dark and lonely. The air felt heavy, and everything around them was silent. When the man saw them, he studied their faces carefully. Then he laughed softly, in a way that made their bodies feel cold. He promised them a life filled with money. He promised that rich men would always favor them and give them whatever they asked for. But he also made it clear that wealth came with rules. He explained the conditions slowly. Every Sunday night, they must go to a mortuary. They must lie beside a lifeless body and remain there until morning. After leaving the mortuary in the morning, they must find a man to lay with before 12 midnight the same day. This must happen every week. If they failed even once, the punishment would be deadly. As the words sank in, fear filled their hearts. Their minds warned them to turn back. But the thought of endless money was stronger. And the night listened as they chose their path. The girls looked at each other in silence. For them, getting a man was never a problem. It was something they were already used to. It was their regular business. The condition did not scare them at all. Instead, it made the promise of money feel closer. Without thinking twice, they agreed. That same night, the ritual was carried out. What they did could never be undone. From that very week, their lives began to change. Money started coming from every direction. It flowed like a river that never dried. Their phones rang day and night. Messages and calls never stopped coming in. Rich men competed for their attention. Each one wanted to please them more than the other. Expensive gifts came easily. Cars were bought without delay. Houses were paid for without stress. Bella bought a luxury car and drove it with pride. Cynthia moved into a big, beautiful apartment. Nora began to travel abroad often, enjoying a life many only dreamed of. To the world, they had finally made it. But behind the wealth, something dark had already taken root. Every Sunday night, the girls moved quietly. When the city was asleep, they secretly went to the mortuary. Lie beside a lifeless body over the night. They always returned before daybreak, unseen and unharmed. Week after week, nothing went wrong. Months passed. Their fear slowly disappeared. Their confidence grew. Then one terrible day came. Very early on a Monday morning, just after they returned from the mortuary, the city suddenly changed. An emergency announcement broke out everywhere. On television, on radio, on social media. A deadly disease had spread through the city. Everyone was ordered to stay indoors. No movement was allowed. The streets were blocked. Security officers stood at every corner. When the girls heard the news, panic took over. Their hearts began to race. Their hands shook. They remembered the warning of the herbalist. They still had a condition to meet. They needed to be with a man before 12 midnight. Desperation filled the room. They tried to step outside, hoping to find a way. But soldiers stopped them immediately. One of the girls tried to speak sweetly to a security man. She hoped kindness would help. Instead, the man shouted and pushed her back. Fear rushed through them. Terrified, they ran back into the house and locked the door. They began to call their rich men one after another. Phones rang endlessly, but nobody answered. The room grew quiet, heavy, cold. Fear filled every corner. They thought of the herbalist. They wanted to run to him for help. But the lockdown sealed the city. There was no way out. And time was still moving. As the night became deeper, the house grew quiet. No laughter. No music. Only fear. The room was dark, except for the faint glow from the wall clock. The girls sat close to each other, breathing heavily, listening to every sound. Then the clock struck 12 midnight. Suddenly, Bella screamed. Her body shook violently as she fell to the floor. Cynthia tried to help her, but she too screamed and collapsed. Nora cried out loudly, begging for mercy, as her legs gave way. They rolled on the floor, crying and calling on God. Please, please, help us. We are sorry. Blood slowly began to flow from their mouths. Their cries became weaker. Their bodies twisted in pain. One by one, their voices faded. Bella stopped breathing. Cynthia went silent. Nora gave one final breath, and moved no more. By morning, the sun rose as usual. Outside the house, their luxury cars stood neatly parked, clean, shiny, untouched. But inside, their bodies lay cold on the floor. No man came to save them. No money could help them. No connection could reverse the curse. Their wealth failed them. And their dark secret died with them. Quick money always comes with hidden chains. Not every shining door leads to life. Bella, Cynthia, and Nora thought wealth would solve all their problems, but the easy way came with deadly rules. Quick money can cost more than you think. Would you risk everything like Bella, Cynthia, and Nora? Comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling stories. Thanks for watching.